Hi, in this video, we're going to talk about Appspace Connect. Appspace Connect is a combination of a web portal and the ability to publish Appspace channel into Webex Teams. I'm now logged into my Appspace account as an account owner, and as you can see, I have now a portal for viewers. The portal will provide users with the ability to access the most recently updated post as part of your Appspace channels. As you can see here, I have a combination of announcement, company blogs, live dashboards, and Webex recording. The user can also browse through the channels section to see the different channels that they are subscribed to, and from there select a channel of their choice and view which messages or which posts were published as part of that channel. So you can now see in this town hall recording that 4 Webex recordings were published into the channel. The Appspace Connect portal is meant to be easy to use. Companies can deploy at scale without requiring any user training. As an account owner of Appspace, I also have here the ability to publish and to toggle between the user view and the admin view. The Appspace dashboard that most of you are familiar with will provide me with an overview of my channel, content, device, network, and user environment. I'm going to go from here into the channel section and select a channel of my choice. In this Workplace Task Force 2020 channel, there is currently one content item active. I'm going to go ahead to publish. And from here, you can see now some new options. I can still publish Appspace channel to devices. That can be Cisco devices, digital signage players, smart TVs, and so on. I can also publish Appspace channels to users, all users within an organization, or individual user or user groups. I can also publish the Appspace channel to a web, either as a simple URL, and this will start playing back your content in your web browser, or as an embedded code that you can then feed into your preferred web portal, being SharePoint, Loom Apps, Jive, or whatever else you're using internally. Finally, I can now publish Appspace channel to Webex Teams. Before I start publishing, let's go to Webex Team, and I'm going to go ahead and create a space, and I'm going to call Workplace Task Force 2020, and I'm going to invite a few people as part of that space. And that's it. That's all there is to do on Webex Teams. So if you have existing Webex Team spaces, you don't even need to do anything. From there, I'm going to go click in Appspace, Publish to an App. I'm going to look for the Workplace Task Force space I just created. And before I click Save, I'm going to go into Settings, and I'm going to define some publishing rules. The first thing is the post format. For each post that will be published within that Webex Team space using this Appspace Workplace Task Force channel, I want to specify if I need a title, an article, and a thumbnail, or all three. If I'm adding an article, do I only want to show a caption of the article or the full article? I'm also going to select whether or not I want the user to be able to click the post title and be redirected to the Appspace Connect portal, or do nothing, and the same thing with thumbnail. Next, I'm going to define some content rules. If the users that are part of that Webex Team space are in a specific region or location, you can use time zone to specify and make sure that when content is published in your Appspace channel at 8 a.m., it actually is published at 8 a.m. in that Webex Team space for the users located in that space. You can also restrict which kind of content you want to publish and use tagging rules, such as, for example, in this scenario, I'm going to use a tag called important. That means that every content with this tag will publish into the Webex Team space. Every piece of content that does not have this tag will be ignored, but will still be published to the devices and Connect portal users. Finally, if I'm updating the content in Appspace, I can also update that content automatically in the Webex Team space, making sure that my information Webex Team is always current. And if I'm removing content in my Appspace channel, such as, for example, a town hall announcement that has now passed, I can also remove it from the timeline of my Webex Team space to always make sure that the information that's in Webex Teams is current. When I'm ready, I'm clicking Save. From there, I'm going to go to the content section. And the first thing is I'm going to take that existing content item and publish it to the Webex Team space that I've subscribed to. And you'll see that very quickly, the content is pushed out and published into Webex Teams. You'll notice title, I clicked on it, sorry for that. You'll list the title, the article, which is in this case the agenda of that next Webex town hall, Webex meeting town hall, and the thumbnail, which is the Appspace card. That's the high impactful message to grab your user's attention. So really simple and instant way to publish existing content inside your Appspace channel. Next, I'm going to add some additional content. I'm going to click Add, access the Appspace content library, select a folder of content. I can add manual content manually one by one or select a whole folder. And before I add the content into the Appspace channel, I'm going to use the settings to define the playout properties. For example, publishing this content the week of the return to the office, let's say July week 20, and then click apply. And I want those messages to pop up every morning inside the Webex team space from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. That means those messages are going to pop up, stay there for a couple of hours, go away, and the next morning they'll pop up again, reminding the user of any workplace services or tasks they need to be doing. When you're ready, you're just going to go ahead and add the content, and you'll see that immediately the content is added into the Appspace channel. And you'll notice the little Webex Teams icon here on the right. That means that those content items that have that Webex Teams icon were actually published into the Webex Team space. Now let's go and have a look in our Webex Team space. And you'll notice we had the original post we published manually that was existing in the Appspace channel. And we now have the other posts that were added: checking your fever, help stop the spread, taking care of our collaborators, and so on. Now, why didn't it publish all the posts we added? Well, simply because we did specify a publishing rule that said that only content items with the tag important needed to be published. Before we go next to the Connect portal, let's quickly look at what was published. An Appspace card, for many of you, is what you see typically on screens on Webex devices or digital signage players. It's high impactful messaging to provide awareness. Typically, you use the Appspace card editor here on the left side to format the content the way you want it to be displayed, and you publish this to your Appspace channel. You can now use the articles section of the card to add an article. This will provide context. So you'll use the card and the high impactful message to create awareness. You'll use the article to provide more context, and potentially you'll use the hyperlink option here to actually have a call to action for users to access more information or complete. You'll notice here in the bottom that you also have the option of caption. So if you selected caption as the way to publish, you'll have a preview of what will actually appear in your Webex team space. And that's pretty much it on the publishing side. Let's go quickly back to Webex Teams. Once again, title, article. Here's the hyperlink that will redirect me to a document that I want to share with my employees or a call to action. And then finally, if I click on the title or on the image, I'm automatically redirected to the Appspace Connect portal. A user will authenticate using single sign-on. If it's their first time, they will be automatically created using JIT into the Appspace account. This will make it really easy to deploy the Appspace Connect portal at scale. You first publish a content into a Webex team space, users click the link, they're redirected to the Appspace cloud, they authenticate using single sign-on, they're automatically created into Appspace. They can view the content in the Appspace Connect portal. They can also go to channels, view the different channels, or select home and see all the updated messages that were published. You'll notice that in the Connect portal, all messages added in the channel published. So only in Webex team, a number of messages were ignored because they didn't have the tagging rule. Finally, you can publish multiple Appspace channels to a single Webex team space, and you can have multiple Webex team space subscribed to one Appspace channel. If you manage your content, if you remember, a simple click such as removing a full content folder or a unique content item would automatically remove the content from your Webex team space. So let's have a quick look, and you'll notice this was the first post. All the others were deleted and removed when I instructed them to remove in the Appspace channel. That's it. It's pretty easy. In order to get your Appspace account activated with Connect, please ping us in this Ask Appspace Webex team space and request for for an activation of your account, we'll ping you and set up a one-to-one onboarding call to make sure we walk you through the first step to get your Appspace and Webex Teams integration working. Thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for more.